Yes, dog, yes.
Everyone's been talking about you and Wade. They're saying you tossed his salad.
I mean, I've never even heard of dressing someone's salad.
We were only gone for like a minute.
Yeah, that's long enough for Wade.
My reaction to this was maybe God, maybe.
Yeah, I was a little let down because it has a great elevator pitch for this movie.
Main character, she's discovering her sexuality, but then at the same time, oh no, there's this Catholic upbringing that she has, and she has to combat that. So great setup for conflict.
Yeah, it's something everyone can relate to, going through that part of your life and dealing with these feelings that are conflicting with a lot of what society might be telling you.
Yeah.
Whether it's your family, your church, or the internet, whatever. So I really liked that aspect of it, and I thought Natalie Dyer, who's the actress, she did a great job.
She seems exactly like someone that would be a Catholic.
Yeah.
She just fits that mold perfectly.
She has that innocent yet conflicted face that expresses a lot about the character. So I really wanted to like this movie, but I didn't.
I thought it was okay. There's a lot of great setup for things, but there's not enough of a wha-jam.
Yeah, I think it was a missed opportunity on a lot of levels. Every character aside from the main character felt very artificial to me, which for a story that is supposed to be so grounded in real experience and humanity of these feelings that you have to deal with when you're going through puberty, felt very odd that every other character seemed to be playing some kind of
caricature
yes.
of a person.
Yes.
But I also wonder if that was the reason, because if you look up the background to the director, she kind of went through these same experiences. So I wonder if she was trying to make everyone else a caricature while the main character was just someone that's just trying to figure out who they are. Because really, everything is centered on her. You see the parents in one scene, and that's it. And everyone else just kind of feels like that they're in and out really quick. You don't really get any time to really understand who they are until the very end.
A movie that comes to mind to compare this to is 8th Grade, which came out last year or 2 years ago from Bo Burnham, which I thought was great.
Yeah, it's a good film.
And what I loved about that film is that it felt so authentic. And I wanted that from this movie. The movie starts with her, she's just going to school, and we get to know some of her friends at school. And this rumor seems to start about her being...
sexually involved, tossing the salad with some guy.
Right. As far as we know, she is very withdrawn, very, mousy kind of girl. So it's very clear to the audience that whatever these girls are saying didn't happen. Her actions sort of unintentionally confirm it, she's eating pudding and it's got pudding on her face and people are laughing at her. All these things came together to feel dissatisfying to me because...
It felt artificial to you?
Yes.
See, to me, I can believe it if it's with the kids, but not with the adults.
Right.
The adults, I would feel would have more skepticism. Because the entire idea is that, people are lousy in high school and people believe in rumors and stuff, even if they are far-fetched. So that I can believe.
You know what? I bet you actually did toss Wade's salad. I don't even know what that means. Oh my God, quit the act. I know you know what it means. Just like the sex scene in Titanic comes right after they're in the car.
It just didn't seem like that she cared that much about whether her religion accepted her or not. She seemed fine with exploring her own sexuality from the get-go.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, this is a sin? Well, that's okay.
That's a good point, because I think she ends up in a place of being more empowered, but you're right that she didn't really struggle with those elements of it that much. She expressed anxiety, I guess, but it wasn't really character related. It was, I'm feeling these feelings, but everyone is telling me it's not good.
And that's the issue when you have a film with such a strong conflict set up like that when your main character doesn't really care about the conflict, then I'm not really invested.
Yeah. She's magnetically attracted to any computer.
Oh, that was my biggest issue. Because there's a part in the film when she's going up to the, the priest?
The priest's office or whatever.
Yeah, the priest's office, and then she looks in, there's a computer. And instantly, it's almost written like she has a pornographic addiction.
Right.
And I just thought that was so bizarre. Now, in the beginning, I can see that, okay, the school is isolating her from everyone else so that they can get closer to God. Okay, fine. The film didn't do a good job of communicating to us the feeling of isolation. And if it did, if it did communicate the feeling of isolation to us, then I feel like that we would have gotten a better understanding of, oh, okay, she's starved to talk to other people or something like that, instead of just, oh, I need to have this feeling again of discovering myself.
Right, but all she did, she logged on to ask, what does tossing your salad mean?
Yeah.
That's what she did.
Yeah. So this kind of brings me into my point of that before this was made into a feature-length film, they made it into a short so that they could get attention and see if it could be made into a film. But it's funny because it's literally scenes from the actual film, and I thought it worked so much better as a short, because the main issue with it is that there's this idea about someone finding their sexuality, which is fine, but there's not enough of a punch of events to happen, and so I think that it's worked so much better as just a tiny, short 20-minute film.
It really achieved basically everything that the film did in 11 minutes or 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, but there are still strong ideas in the main one. Like, I think it was a great opening shot of having one of the people that worked at the Catholic school just walking down the hallways, and then you see her essentially accuse everyone of the way that they're dressed, just like sensual sensory perspective about how everyone is dressed, and so she's accusing them like, oh, you're not like this and you're not like that. And then I also really liked it at the very end when she goes to confess her sins, and then she essentially just turns it all back on the father and says, oh, I saw this porno, and she's essentially talking about the porno that he saw.
Yeah, I think that's another element, though, that the setup to that to me felt artificial, where like the set is basically his computer monitor is pointed towards these big windows of his office.
Yeah.
Really, you're gonna pull up porn on your computer when anyone walking by would instantly see it? Like, come on.
Yeah.
She's looking at the computer in the priest's office and she hears someone coming, so she leaves. It's a close-up shot of the power button on the computer. Her finger presses it, but not all the way, and the green light stays on. Apparently we're supposed to take from that, oh, she was in such a hurry that she didn't press it well enough, so it stayed on, like, I don't know.
Like maybe that there were more things that were happening that were in service to the script than actually to the story.
Yes, it seems like a clunky moment where they wanted to make it so she was gonna get found out and she couldn't cover her tracks, but they didn't quite know how to do that. Yeah,
know what I mean?
And I get that from little things like that from pretty much all the characters.
I would actually recommend go see the short more.
Yeah,
I think it's more concise, brings in more, and actually it's interesting because then when you compare both, you can really see even subtle differences. Like the main character, she has almost a completely different character in the short. She's a lot more assertive. She seems like she's more confident in herself and what she wants, and it also seems like that they really push the Catholicism, anti-religious vibe in that one.
Yeah, they didn't address it as much as they might have in the film.
Yeah, they didn't. It was almost like they didn't want to paint them as too evil, just that everyone's confused, and so Catholicism is kind of a good way of showing that, oh, like everyone is trying to push us down from who we are.
Yeah, I did think it did a fun job of kind of portraying it as a cult. They go to the camp and everyone's got these like, weird symbols on their shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
I would like to reiterate, I really did like the ideas that the movie was trying to explore.
Same, yep.
I think dealing with those natural feelings.
Everyone can identify with.
Yeah, and the way that it, butts up against what society and everything is telling you, that's a powerful thing to explore. And I think the movie does an okay job of exploring that. There's good moments. I just wanted more out of the script, being able to make them feel real and believable. Because at many moments of the film, I felt that worked well. Like when she's kind of finding something out about herself. In that moment, I generally liked it, but it was how that moment connected to the other moments and how those other characters interacted with that moment. That's what often left me feeling disconnected.
And then those characters within those other moments are just kind of dry and dead air. And so when you get to that, it's like, oh, I kind of wanted to get to this faster, which the short does.
Yeah, it's as if they're not really people. She's the only person who felt like a real person to me. So yeah, I mean, for a first directorial effort, like it's not a bad film. I just wanted more out of it because I did really like the concept.
Yeah, for me, it would have been a much more phenomenal film if I actually felt that the main character really cared more about what was going on with her struggles.
I wouldn't strongly recommend or not recommend the film.
It's in the middle.
Yeah.
Go see Yes, God, Yes, the short.